Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm looking at Strange Tales 114. I hope you enjoy. This issue apparently has the return of Captain America, and the comic has the return of Doctor Strange stories as well. This comic released August 8th, 1963, with a cover date of November 1st, 1963. This issue marks the very first appearance of the Captain America character since the Golden Age of comics. This is the 91st issue to read in a complete Marvel Comics reading order. This issue comes right after Tales to Astonish 48, the Porcupine's first appearance when he fights Ant-Man, which I've already reviewed on this channel. The first story is titled The Human Torch Meets Captain America, written by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Dick Ayers, colored by Stan Goldberg, and lettered by Sam Rosen. The story opens up with Johnny Storm's friends interrupting his flying practices to tell him about the return of an old superhero, Captain America, from the old comics. I assume there was a comic made in this world based off of Captain America's actual World War adventures. The city the Human Torch lives alone in is Glenville, and the city is throwing an appreciation parade for the Star-Spangled Hero. But two guys try to steal a car at this show, and the Human Torch goes after them, their bullets melting before they can touch him, and then Captain America shows up and tackles the car, the bullets reflecting off of his shield. To stop the car, the torch melts the road in front of them so they get stuck in the wet pavement. Well, Captain America starts chucking the pavement at the torch, mad that he made everything so messy. While they fight, the crooks run away, but get grabbed by the police. After the little fight, the torch is questioning, where has Captain America been this whole time, and why show his face now? His girlfriend, Doris Evans, is fawning over Captain America. I like how Johnny calls her out. She's always complaining about his superheroics, but with Captain America, it's fine and she likes it. We next see Captain America break the two carjackers out of prison by melting the bars off their cell window. He has the guys go on another chase to get attention for his mysterious plan. So yeah, now we see that this isn't the real Captain America but an imposter. But who is it, and why in Glenville, and why does he hate the torch so much? The imposter Cap says he's doing this because fame and attention isn't enough anymore. He can't just resist the big money. He sent those two carjackers to draw all the attention away from him when he commits a bank robbery. Okay, so the imposter Captain America is really the old Human Torch enemy from Strange Tales issue 106, the Acrobat. Looking back, Acrobat really thought about his Captain America character. He always pretended he was the real one from the 40s. Captain America, Steve Rogers, was still on ice during this comic. This explains why this imposter Cap was bugged by the Human Torch and in Glenville. There's a really cool moment for the Torch in here, where he gets trapped in a truck covered with asbestos. He's able to escape because he becomes so hot his flame energy turns into gas, and the compression of all the flammable gas causes an explosion so he can just fly out of the truck. I have a feeling there's a lot of moments this would help the Torch out of a predicament, but I don't remember this ever happening again. The carjackers, they try to escape in the water, presumably because the Torch has no powers underwater, but the Human Torch just makes the water so hot it's like a steam bath, so they have to rise up out of it. I like this little moment where the Human Torch gets some help from a civilian. He brings out a bunch of heaters to dry off the Torch after he got soaked with water. Also, the Acrobat here wasn't going after the Torch at all, as he just leaves him wet and runs away. How did the Torch get wet? Well, with the Acrobat's, acrobatic skills, he launches a wet mop at the Torch, hitting him in the face, causing him to flame off, and then he handcuffs the hero, which the Human Torch just easily melts off when his hands are on fire. Also, fun fact, Captain America's shorts are colored red here, but on the cover of the issue, they're blue. Another little thing, the story talks about the Human Torch's temper. He gets mad with his girlfriend and can't control his flame here at his girlfriend's house, and he attacks Captain America after he took one shot at him, though I think him throwing fireballs back at return was always justified. This story was written to test readers' interest in the return of Captain America, who would later make a real return in Avengers issue 4. I never knew this until I read this story for the first time. And that was the return of Captain America into the Silver Age of comics, both on the page and off. Now let's look at the second story, Doctor Strange, The Return of the Omnipotent Baron Mordo, written by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, penciled by Steve Ditko, inked by George Russos, colored by Stan Goldberg and Sam Rosen. This is the third appearance of Doctor Strange, and Baron Mordo's second appearance. Baron Mordo was the villain of the last Doctor Strange story, as Doctor Strange wasn't in Strange Tales 112 or 113. Baron Mordo today has pretended to be an old friend of Doctor Strange, Sir Clive Bentley, to get him to Bentley's castle in England. Strange Den, when he's there, gets trapped by the paralyzing vapors of Mordo's magical candles. Each time the candles die down, Strange will get weaker until he is dead. Yeah, the setup is kind of silly. Doctor Strange sends out a call with his Amulet of Agamotto to a person that will free him by going to the castle and putting out the candles. Which I guess the candles, even though they're mystic, need to be put out like a normal candle. This girl hears Doctor Strange's call. She seems to have a dormant talent for sorcery, just because she can hear his call. The girl's name is Victoria Bentley, as we learn, and she's the daughter of Clive Bentley. Baron Mordo then returns. At first they gloat over his victory, but with the trap ruined, it is time to fight. This was the most action in the story you see on screen. Doctor Strange and Baron Mordo battling in another plane of existence, but to an outsider, to Victoria Bentley, it looks like they're just intensely staring at each other. With that said, I really like the picture on the left of the two fighting. There's a moment where Baron Mordo believes he has mind-controlled Doctor Strange, but he only controlled a fake duplicate, so Strange got the element of surprise on him. I find it pretty weird that Mordo thinks he will win, all because he got in the first blow, but okay. The girl at the end learns that she has the ability to learn magic just like Doctor Strange, but for now he tells her no, since if she did, Baron Mordo would be after her too. I wouldn't be surprised if she returned in later stories, maybe even as a big character. The Ancient One tries to help out Doctor Strange, but he refuses to help, saying he needs to learn how to defeat the forces of the darkness and evil alone. This is the first time the Ancient One appears under that name. Previously it had been called the Master, and Doctor Strange is still using the Amulet of Agamotto here. This was another quick story, but it seems to set up Baron Mordo as maybe becoming Doctor Strange's greatest enemy. Of course, now we know he's not, that's Dormammu, but at the time it probably was like that. And those are all my thoughts on Strange Tales 114. Thank you for watching, happy 4th of July, yep, that's why I made this video today, and have a good day.